Alpha Omega, Part 6. In addition to an overriding concern relative to the morality of conditional relations, or a persistent tendency to reduce religion to social morality, the Omega concept of religion is inherently disposed toward theistic language, including the word God itself, and toward linear or progressive rather than cyclical cosmological descriptions, since God, in the Omega view, is always regarded in the context of the conditional or cosmic domain, of which God is conceived to be the course and hierarchical head from beginning to end. This is because all Omega concepts in the physical human world develop from the base of natural physical ego identification with the conditional and bodily manifested human self in the conditional world of earth. Thus, when that which is ultimate and spiritual and non-conditionally or transcendently real and altogether divine is regarded or thought about from the Omega position, it is presumed over against the conditional self and the conditional cosmos, and it is thus conceptually affirmed as the first principle, the origin and the constantly creative course of the conditional world and the conditional self, as well as of all events that develop from the association between all conditional selves and between all conditional selves and the conditional world. The Alpha concept of religion, spirituality, and transcendentalism may, particularly at the popular religious level, be associated with theistic, even polytheistic and pantheistic language and cyclical cosmological descriptions, or it may otherwise describe the cosmic domain as an ultimately loveless, basically purposeless, and entirely mechanical chaos of order or of repetition. Nevertheless, the Alpha concept of religion, spirituality, and transcendentalism is ultimately oriented toward the non-conditional reality in and of itself, prior to the conditional or cosmic domain, and thus the ultimate language of Alpha religion, spirituality, and transcendentalism is inherently non-theistic and non-cosmological, or strictly transcendental or non-conditional. This is because all Alpha concepts develop from the base of inherent or necessary self-identification with the non-conditional reality. The great reality or divine condition that is considered from the Alpha position is the same great reality or divine condition that is considered from the Omega position, and now is always the time of the controversy relative to this matter and religious differences in general to cease. It is simply that the great reality or divine condition is considered from a different conceptual position or reality idea in each of the two cases. All historical religions have, previous to the avataric revelation lifetime of my physical bodily human divine form, developed on the basis of either an Alpha dominant or an Omega dominant reality idea. Each has developed in the context of a different and unique historical, political, geographical, temporal, and cultural domain. And each has traditionally been limited by concepts associated with one or another of the first 6 or ego-based and progressively developmental stages of life, representing either the stage of adaptation most commonly addressed or the stage of realization that is the limit of aspiration in the particular Alpha or Omega context. The mind dominated by the Omega principle talks religion in theistic and cosmological terms, and the mind dominated by the alpha principle ultimately talks religion in non-theistic, non-cosmological, and strictly transcendental or non-conditional terms. Omega language talks of the great reality and condition as creator God, relative to the conditional world and the conditional self, and the morality of relations between conditional selves. Whereas Alpha language talks of the great reality and condition either as the transcendental or non-conditional self, or as the transcendental or non-conditional condition beyond description, since, by virtue of the fact that it is that in which all conditions arise, it is not related to or comparable to any conditional relations or descriptions. However, both the Omega language and the Alpha language talk of the same one, each from a unique and characteristic point of view, limited by the time and by the place, and by the ego-based developmental stage of life of any individual who considers these matters.